Whether it is health insurance or homeowner insurance, we typically purchase insurance policies to protect ourselves. However, a portion of car insurance is actually purchased to help other people as well. In today's Injuries Are Personal with Reynolds Law, attorney Carl Reynolds is here to further explain bodily injury liability. Welcome back.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Okay, on surface, we're like, really? Is this all that interesting? We have gotten so many questions about this part of car insurance because it's a little bit complicated. So let's try to understand a little bit better.
Okay.
Do we have to carry bodily injury liability?
Quick answer is no, but let's talk a little bit about that. Bodily injury coverage is unique. Normally we buy insurance for ourselves, health insurance to pay for our medical bills, life insurance in case something happens to us for our family. Bodily injury coverage is actually to protect third parties, other people, when we make mistakes. So that's why it's really misunderstood, I think, and people don't grasp the concept. But under Florida law, with an exception if you've been convicted of DUI, you do have to carry bodily insurance under Florida statute. Once you get your license back, you have to carry that for 3 years. But other than that, it's not technically required under the law, but there's a couple reasons why you really should.
Okay, well, let's take a minute and look at a declarations page because
Perfect.
they come with our policies. A lot of us sort of file them in the file of stuff we know is important, but we don't really understand it. So this is what a declaration page looks like. Now, we have zoomed into where bodily injury is on the page for everybody to take a look at. Tell us what we're seeing here with this limit and deduction and what it means.
Okay, this is a sample policy. It's a GEICO policy. According to statistics, GEICO is the largest auto insurer in the state of Florida, so approximately 20% of your audience is going to see a deck page or a declarations page just like this. And you'll see under coverage it has bodily injury liability, and it says each person, each occurrence. So when you look under limits, you'll see 10,000 slash 20,000. What that means is this particular individual purchased $10,000 of bodily injury coverage towards any one person they hurt, but a maximum of $20,000 per accident. So if they hit a bus full of nuns, the max that Geico is going to pay out is $20,000 for that accident. And then you see what it costs for that particular coverage.
So let me ask you this. It's not that I'm not trying to be a good person, it's that I'm trying to save money. And it's like, you know what, money is tight right now. I don't really want to cough out $150 for, bodily injury. I'll take my risks. I'll take my risk that I'm not going to hurt anybody. Why is that a very bad idea?
A couple reasons. First, even though it's not required under Florida law, you could be subject to claims from a hurt individual and then come after your assets.
Like my house or?
Well, house is often protected by homestead, but they can put a lien on it. But any investment property, any stocks, any bank accounts, and you might say, well, I don't really have those anyway. Well, there is a financial responsibility law in Florida where you're basically issuing a bond for $10,000. And if you can't pay that $10,000 out of pocket, they can suspend your license and hold it until you pay it. So I'm willing to bet if you don't have those investment properties and those things you think you're judgment proof, I'm willing to bet your driver's license is important to you. So for that reason alone, you ought to carry it. But there's another reason, and that is the way they constructed Florida law, you can't protect others or you can't protect yourself more than you protect others, meaning you cannot carry, we talked about this before in an earlier segment, uninsured motorist coverage unless you buy bodily injury coverage.
Okay, so why should you get to protect yourself against the uninsured motorist if you're not willing to take responsibility of what you might do to someone else?
Correct. So you have to buy bodily injury coverage in order to qualify for uninsured motorist coverage. And as we talked about, you got a 50-50 shot of being hit by someone who has no bodily injury coverage that we showed on that policy or no insurance at all. So you've got to carry uninsured motorist coverage. I don't get paid a dime for peddling insurance and for any company. I'm not endorsing Geico particularly. That was just a sample policy.
Sure.
I don't get paid a dime, but you got to carry it because I see it too often. People come into my office, they're devastated by an accident, by injury, they got medical bills piling up, and there's no insurance.
So as a lawyer who deals with people, unfortunately, who are struggling as a result of auto accidents, is your minimum baseline of what we carry, the bodily injury, 10, 20, or whatever is affordable in the budget?
Well, the financial responsibility law in Florida requires you to carry at least $10,000 either a bond where you're saying I can pay it, or at least the coverage. I would carry as much as you can afford. Okay, you saw the breakdown of what it costs in that policy. That's a 6-month term, so it's basically $20 per car per month.
Right.
If you can push that up, usually they sell them in increments of 10,000, 25, 50, 100. Carry as much as you can, because you can only get uninsured motorists in that amount.
And it all beats getting sued.
Correct.
which is certainly a risk. All right, Carl, we appreciate you breaking it down for us.
Sure.
Auto insurance can be very confusing, so any information about any of your legal questions, you can go to injuriesarepersonal.com. We'll be right back